Execute has certainly been leaned on from NRG straight off the bat, but look at dapr. He's made a lot of space, and Shanks has not spotted him. Eventually gets round to it. dapr may be a bit over egregious straight off the bat, but zombs is in a nice spot, expecting this execute, but loses the battle against the frenzy of Som. It's already a 4 versus 3 as ShahZaM's able to get one frag, and he's actually scared off NRG, who dropped the spike in a really awkward spot. The recon dart isn't even going to uproot him from this spot, but Som gets a second and he's going to be able to do that. And already Sentinels are in a very tricky position, but it's a 1v1. Sick against the Reina of Shanks, and the spike in between them.
Oh, they see each other, curveball comes through. Unfortunately, the engagement not going to 6-way, he'll back away. Shanks now just trying to get the spike and maybe get out of there. Oh, here comes the swing. Oh, he shoulder peek, sees him. And now they're going to have to play the guessing game. Sick. Will he head over to B? He's going to at least start there for now.
30
End up on
seconds
C
left.
as there's 30 seconds remaining. Sick doesn't see anything towards that B site. And really, considering 2 other maps outside of A, there's not many places or decisions for him to make. Started off a B, doesn't see anybody. Now going to start playing the retake game for C, but I like this from Shanks. He's going to go towards the garage. If he jumps up through the window, this might be a great idea for him, but he still needs to play close to the spike. Once the tap comes in, he can play from connector. There's the tap. Knows that Sick is on site. Gets to half. Now Sick just needs to play. Where is Shanks located? Oh. What a narrow angle, of course, as well to find Sick. He just tried
dapr about a minute ago, but now they're going to break onto the site where that kill came in. Sentinels going to be lethargic with this rotation. They gambled that it was going to be over on A, but that's not the case. Now they need to play for the post plant, which they have to do so slowly and carefully because they're expecting daps or infinite to be lurking in positions, especially towards B.
Smokes down, Infinite and company going to be playing towards that long side, and the spike ticking and Sentinels moving very slowly towards the C site. Not a lot of time for a flank. So they're just going to have to fight them head on. See a lot of that membership towards that long side. Sick finds the opening frag. That's important to note. Wall goes up, starting the defuse, and throws don't fake. So Shanks will take that one. Thank you very much. Still, the battle continues. There's smoke down, the spray through the smoke. Shanks with another. He's just stacking him up. Another with the shock dart, all down to ShahZaM, and that's 3 in a row.
Like a 5 versus 3, for example. It's where Sentinels have been so good over the past few months. As the Eldron is going to come in onto the B site, ShahZaM has the right idea knowing that daps is going to be lurking in that position. Oh. Infinite is very lucky not to die there from that shock dart from sinatraa. But it's 4 apiece when it comes to the bodies that they have, and another C plant looking to come through.
Walk through the cage. Dapper's going to hear that. Lear will be shot out of the sky. Now the smokes will come down in response. Sick is ready. He doesn't care. He's going to push on through. The spray's going to cover him as he enters the tags as well. Now the curveball. They want to get involved, but is going to find Sick. dapr trades him away down to Infinite. dapr with the 3K on the round. Almost looked like a moment where NRG could have brought that back, but ShahZaM unfortunately can't survive. Infinite falls too. Instead,
the Reina going crazy might not be enough to necessarily win you the game, but as soon as ShahZaM has been able to get this operator on a more consistent basis, it's looked much better. It's forcing NRG to do some really unorthodox stuff with these executes, but banana control is going to go to them, and zombs kind of fluffs his lines a little bit with that engagement with daps, and this Eldron is going to show ShahZaM up. He has to bring out the Blade Storm, but that's a nice flash from Som.
Yep, and of course the angle for him, he swings around the box. It's NRG.
You've got to be a bit more deliberate with how you place those smokes, so having it used for an operator holding an angle that you might not even predict. It's a tough one. Som's played from this spot before. ShahZaM is able to at least get that first kill with the operator yet again, and ShahZaM is there to help. Spike has been lost on the side of NRG. Sick is going to be flanking in behind them. ICEBOX is sort of expecting it on a nice off angle, but it's not enough. Now it's just daps in this corner. He's getting sick, but good stuff from Sentinels. Good read from it onto NRG, and they just didn't really have a chance to shine. Sentinels seem to have his number. ShahZaM, even with the operator, was enough to shut it down. It's going to be difficult to attack off, but look at eeiu, the aggression goes right into the face of Sick, but with a classic, it's a mowdown. 2 versus 2 straight away. And Shanks does find those kills that we've been waiting for quite some time. In fact, he gets 2 himself. And Hunter's Fury is actually the first thing to come through from sinatraa. As he gets a tag, it's not going to get much else as the run it back does get dedicated to from Sick.
Saw somebody there, Slow trying to get control of that link side. Oh, unfortunately, I don't think he sees him at the end there. Sam and Infinite trade places in the smoke, but Infinite's just gonna hold down the site. The big, beefy Brimstone anchor. Down to 2 players for Sentinels. Difficult round for them. Shanks backstabbing Sick in the garage. And
I think we've seen eeiu get a shock dart kill there. I said about him having the 3rd most in the world. Actually, remember, Sentinels are breaking on through, but the stinger is good enough for eeiu to at least get 2. He's upgraded to the Phantom, left on the ground. And an orbital strike is good for Infinite. I think Sentinels are very aware of that. They were considering going B and then went, actually, no, their ultimate will completely wreck us if we're not careful. You know, the issue is that eeiu is relatively low on health, and Hunter's Fury is good for sinatraa. Look at his position. He's going for that typical ultimate Hunter's Fury play down C long to delay the spike, and NRG were not that good at shutting this down beforehand.
Orbital strike is available, and that's actually what he's thinking about cooking up. There it goes. Not going to let them peek, so here comes the defuse, but the Hunter's Fury to match is beautiful for sinatraa.
Oh,
he's
no.
going to find Infinite as well. That's the orbital strike not only down, but that's Brimstone out of commission. Shanks, last one standing, and he will also be the last one to die.
You know, from Valorant Worlds and stuff, when it happens, when we have lands back, those on the big stage, but ShahZaM, using the run it back in the last round, found a lot of success, wanted to actually push up the tempo with a shot, something that NRG haven't done, but the action is on the other side of Haven. Infinite, you have a lot to ask for. Paranoia is going to connect onto him nicely. The flash, even so, he shuts it down, but he is overrun by Sentinel players. There's only so much he could realistically do in that scenario. 5 versus 4, NRG have it all to do now.
Guess where they're going to play towards, likely going to funnel back towards that long side. Don't have a lot of that. They don't have a Hunter's Fury, probably still have shock darts available to them, but NRG have to retake. And if they do, and if they successfully overwhelm Sentinels here, they'll tie us up and we'll be in overtime. Wall goes up. Careful now. Line up here for ShahZaM. He's going to try to clear out the cubby. This is actually really nice. So far, it's just been a trade of frags. Shock dart for the Phantom frag, but now ShahZaM coming in from the opposite side. Confused. They're not letting them come through here for Sentinels. Down to 1 final player. It's eeiu, but it's sinatraa. The man is about to get explosive. Smoke's going out. And not let them in from the rafters. But still, now the dogs will come through as well. They'll knock out 1, but still it's Sick with the spike. He'll be able to win that initial duel. ShahZaM having to drop down. It's not physically. It's a shot to the dome that'll take him out. It's all down to 1 final player. The Brimstone drops down. It's daps. sinatraa will help him.
Shanks having the operator. Main thing is that Sick has built up a Seekers. He's going to use it instantly as this mid pressure is coming through. sinatraa jumping onto the high ground, loses a nice duel against daps. Knew exactly what was coming. Now that Sky Ultimate has pretty much fallen through. Holding the ground, Captain Daps on the Brimstone. Manages to get a second. He's down to 11 HP. And just 2 attackers remain in their position. Given up by the alarm bot over towards the orange box and B. Infinite wanted to play this a little bit more slowly as his turret's taken out. Let these 2 attackers of Sentinels take the site perhaps and then just take it back.
At least we'll get the spike plant.
1 enemy remaining.
Will end up falling to the shock dart. I kind of anticipated that coming, but that's all Sentinels will get this round. Unless dapr finds a pick here, he will not. It's a flawless round for NRG, so at least that spike money coming through for Sentinels, but this is the round that you would hope teams convert on, and NRG will do just that, especially with the flawless Sentinels players. For NRG, they've got 4 players stacked in and around the area, so they're ready to retake or fight for it.
Another Seekers though coming through. Storm actually forcing out the Empress to see if he can juke it at all, if he can get a kill. But look at all of this utility being thrown this way. Luckily, the flash doesn't impact him too much. He dismisses out of there. And the orbital straight from Infinite is actually going to clear up the high section on this site. Now the Hunter's Fury from immeiu is going to come through, but not quite connecting onto anybody. A bit of a shot in the dark, but Som, though, is completely hidden with this Emperor still. Can't quite confirm last kill. But Sinatraa is going to easily be winded down from NRG.
Once again, he's been so deadly on this site. Playing it masterfully, taking frags, escaping back towards the rafters. He'll be smoked off for now, but if he finds a frag, he can just dismiss back through it. Lear's going to come through for him. But all Sentinels want is to get the spike down, and they'll get that.
Got a bit of information to work with as all of this utility gets thrown out. Seekers, the third one this half, is going to find and force off NRG from that angle. The showstopper is going to be the killing blow, but Som, that's a great shot onto Sinatraa. The bazooka is going to be put down for now, and Infinite's going to add to it. Could be a flawless round from NRG, breaking on through, but Som does eventually spot dapr on that angle. Some really good stuff from NRG there. And Sentinels, it was an eco, but a third Seekers really does make you question how good Sky is, because I think she does
to sell information or gather information towards the B site.
You should run.
Shanks has a good angle. He's going to have to back away a little bit, though, with that lockdown coming in. But nobody's really here. NRG have been playing this A site pretty similarly, and they've been having a lot of great success with it. But now as the lockdown's about to come through, they've got a counter lockdown, and that spike will still end up getting planted. So now Sinatraa is going to have to figure out what he's going to do, use those blast packs to get to safety. Now lockdown will get destroyed. So now it's just a 5v5. Sentinels have backed away the lower half of the A site. Oh, I think Som saw somebody there.
He did.
Knows that somebody's up there. Alarmbot's going to give him away. The dog is out. Not going to be able to capitalize off of anybody. Afraid of top players. Shanks will find ShahZaM. Seekers will come through once again. The players are playing in the smoke, but it's being diffused at the current moment. Zom's going to find two. Still need to tap the diffuse. It's frag. The Sentinels are coming out on top. Daps with the lurk, but he's in trouble as he's in hot water. Zombs with 3 on the round. We are
though. 6 more rounds on the attack. And we can go to split for NRG.
Swarm grenade out.
Winning this pistol is of the utmost importance for NRG. It'll put them at potentially 9-5, considering potentially Sentinels now forcing up, right? Anything can happen, but it's still incredibly important for NRG to win this pistol. Early looks, ShahZaM's kind of peeking around the mid side, seeing if he can get some early value of information. Sees nobody, and the timing's a little bit unfortunate as 2 players will cross. So Zom's gonna have to hold down this A side by himself. The Sheriff by very confident, and we see exactly why as he finds 2 pick smokes go down, but already that spike down as well. It's working out for Sentinels, down to the 4v3 with an injured Zom. That spike's being planted. Infinite finds ShahZaM, not really paying a little bit of attention. Now the heals come through. Sentinels back to the 2v3. It started off a little great with Zoms defending, but now it's back to the retake in NRG's favor.
He has been healed up though by the regroup for Sick, who tries to be a bit more in the face. He's still has utility to flash the opponent. Zoms now. It's a third with the Sheriff, gets a 4th. He has to ace it now. It's just 1 more kill onto Infinite, who isn't going to try it at all. Zoms is feeling it right now. But it might not be enough. All in vain. A great round from him mechanically. Shut down by the Nano Swarm of all.
Attention.
It's been 3 rounds of this half, and Sick doesn't have his ult. I'm outraged. Trailblazer is going to be used. He's going to scout on through and knows that Shanks is going to be holding there. I'd probably give him the scare of his life, to be honest, but he's still alive, still in one piece. Can't say the same about Infant, though. Sinatraa gets 2 before Som plays it up. Bit of a hop onto the high ground just to try and catch him on that angle, but there's still a lot of pressure now from dapr, who is actually going to disengage from distance and wins a nice duel against Som with the Vandal. The Nano Swarm is going to come through. Utility in hand, he takes a lot of damage. And six Pigeon kind of gets a bit stuck in the boxes. Maybe there's some crumbs left over or something, but it's a 2 versus 4 as NRG still haven't got that spike placed down yet.
Devil.
Spike planted.
Zam walks through the smoke with dapr, and Sick will clean up. good third round conversion for them. And it really did start off with Sinatraa finally applying some pressure towards green. And we see Sinatraa, he's going to be battling for green pretty consistently. But this eventual A hit is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, the position ShahZaM is playing with the operator is where he likes to roost with it. Infinite does find an opening, tries to pick up the gun but can't do so. Look at this warding off from Sentinel to make sure that no gun upgrades can come through from the attackers. A lockdown, Hunter's Fury, all good to go. The spike has been planted, but it's still messy. eeiu with the Guardian could at least get the kill onto Sick, and the showstopper Sinatraa comes through. They don't expect daps on that angle. Nice patient stuff. The Molotov is going to make sure that the spike can't get touched by ShahZaM. 61 HP, and a really nice round from NRG.
Finds the first one. Now going to start to defuse, but he's in a relatively safe spot as well. Decides to push forward, and they will try to fight him for it. Now the defuse once again. It's just super unfortunate. Didn't have a lot of time left.
Seekers is going to show Infinite's aggressive position. They don't quite know who it is, but considering his spot, lockdown has been placed here pretty much every time from the attacking side of both angles. ShahZaM aggressively facing surprises Infinite. Crosshair placement was nowhere near where he was expected, and even gets healed up for his trouble. Lockdown has not really done all that much for NRG at this point. In fact, ShahZaM's able to add a few more before Shanks pulls out the Blade Storm. But Sick takes him up the server before he can string a few more multi-kills. Song and now are still alive to try and make something happen. And ShahZaM gets his third.
30 seconds left.
Down to daps was just trying to find a little bit more value, but he only has 20 HP. Oh, the spray from range. But now ShahZaM knows where he's located. Gonna hold the angle. Shot's gonna be clean. And he got 4 in the round. He was playing that ramp so well, just in and out of coverage.
The execute's gonna be a quick one from NRG. The Empress is gonna be used from Som, but zombs on the high ground yet again is at least good for one as sculpt away into the Brimstone Sky Smokes. Paranoia is going to come across, but it doesn't quite connect onto the people. It connects onto Som, never mind. He tries to take that engagement. Soms gets 2 before he's traded out from eeiu, and it's a bit of a scrappy one so far.
2 remaining for NRG, daps, and eeiu. Nanoswarm will stop them from pushing forward. There's the Hunter's Fury. Now the shot's gonna be good for daps. That's 2! Can he find the 4th? Yes! Yes, he can! NRG, they stay alive!
More confident, much better for them. The Blade Storm from ShahZaM is very egregious. He is looking to play much more aggro than we've seen from him, but the Eldrun might give up his spot. In fact, he gets caught out from Shanks. Some off angle is enough, and Sick is actually going to use his Seekers to chase on in. The orbital strike clears up the site for now. Sick dies in the process. There's nowhere to retreat to. Ooh, he could be going to overtime at this point.
Sinatra's flanking around from behind, but he's being a little bit careful, waiting for the rest of his team to arrive to the A site and start to work their way back in. But Sinatraa, he's the X factor that you have to pay attention to. We're now starting to see daps make sure that he does his homework, and Sinatra's gonna win the duel. So now NRG are starting to be pinched in. Lockdown makes this even more difficult. Sinatra's on one side. Oh, sorry. Oh, that's Infinite's lockdown. That is gonna delay things quite nicely. Sinatraa with another pick. 2 players still remain. Off the backboard goes the nades, and that's going to be Infinite taking him down. Down to the 2v2. There's the recouple, but guess who's playing close? It's dapr. There's the defuse. Zombs will be taken down, ladies and gentlemen.
Player's been in the right position. He's let players like Som here slide and sneak in behind. Look at Shanks, he's not really paying attention. In fact, Soms didn't see it at all. Punished very hard. And Shanks actually missing the shot with the operator. It's a 4 versus 3.
ShahZaM missing the shot, and he will actually be punished for it. Sam will take him down. 2v4. Tough spot to be in if you're a Sentinels fan. The spike is being planted. Sick is going to be the next to fall. There's one more. It's dapr, but NRG are feeling confident. Dapr's going to find one. 1v3, and that's the Empress pop. That's going to be daps. Of course, it's daps. NRG will take us to map.
An aggressive start for NRG. They've managed to make their way in. Shanks smoking the line through. And Zombs might not be expecting these players to be in these spots. It doesn't really matter too much though, as the Frenzies line up the kills that are needed. But it was a bait. The B site is open for business, and Som is looking to head it up.
Touch on something very interesting that ShahZaM did there as we are about just to see this execute here for NRG. They managed to just freely walk onto the site, but Sentinels members are starting to funnel in from the backside. They're going in through the rafters. There's the fault line coming through. Gonna connect onto a few, but still, as the spike ticks, it's a lot of Sentinels members that can overwhelm NRG here. Tom up above, gonna try to spray through, finds Sinatraa, but has to reload the clip as he drops down. It's all up to eeiu with 29 HP. Easy for ShahZaM to pick that one up. And one of the things that ShahZaM did that was quite interesting was he smoked off on the A site. He smoked off that corner just as the attack for the mid control have the option of splitting through ropes. But ShahZaM is there in a really cheeky spot, and he's playing close with a stinger. Deadly. Dap's gonna bite the bullet. He's gonna be the first to come through. Can't convert onto the second, so it's just a trade. But the site is wide open, and unless zombs stop them, but they back away. They found what they needed. Now we're going to pay attention towards this B site.
All the guiding lights used from the sky, they're going to be anchored onto the A site. They're not quite sure if anybody's coming. You do have eeiu lurking over there. The rotation is going away from B, but dapr gets that information. He's going to be playing from the back of CT, and the camera's going to tag some information, and he can tag up Infinite. He goes down. And this is an awkward one, as sinatra's able to get one with a paint shell, but now it's just going to be eeiu left all on his own on A.
Wow.
Didn't quite go to plan. Sentinels get a third.
That was sinatraa goes up, but the showstopper is a little bit too short. Spike's going down. That man manages to get in there, but now zombs has action that he wants to throw his way. He's going to find one. Sinatraa does get traded with eeiu. So well done by NRG. Now the swing. Zombs going to find another. It's daps. This round has been played masterfully by NRG. It's all down to 6. Backstab onto daps. It's the 1v3. Doc comes through. Difficult swing for him to make, but wow, what a beautiful round. Really stacking up towards this B site. Don't have the rolling thunder, so the fault line will just have to do. Here comes the push forward from Shanks. He's got the blade storm. And dapr is just in a little bit of a cheeky spot. He'll be taken down from the default plant spot. Seekers coming through just to find out where those players are, or at least get a little bit of control. Spike down 5v3. Tough spot here for Sentinels. Can they get the job done in the retake?
The double danger stack, though, is looking up to where zombs want to push from. Tick wins one duel. The peak was a little bit staggered, and it's working out very nicely for the Sentinels up until eeiu and Shanks clear it up. Judge upgraded for the fans.
Early info. And look in towards this B site.
You should run.
A lot of ground has been covered by ShahZaM, holding off the ropes rotate. Sam doesn't, unfortunately due to timing, doesn't really get to see that. We see a trade towards B main. Paranoia comes through to stop them, but it's Sentinels members that'll back away. And ShahZaM gets a little bit more ground. ShahZaM unfortunately detained. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Last player standing.
Oh, and it's just decimation for NRG. They'll find everything and more. eeiu finding it all. And now it's all down to dapr in a 1v4.
Planted.
Especially if he goes up the stairs. eeiu's waiting for him. He goes the opposite way. Shanks is waiting for him. And there's a potential brimstone that's waiting in B main in case things do really get scary. So first pick gonna come through. Holds down the spray in case somebody double swung on him. But now it's eeiu coming in from the opposite side. Looking towards the stairs. Oh, okay. Okay, all right, okay, dapr. He's gone.
He is angry. Douglas Apper is angry, guys. He's just holding low. Just to see if he can get the double kill on them somehow.
Oh man, that is
like Infinite knows that it could be a dangerous spot to be in, so he's going to back off.
Oh. Doesn't anticipate them from the opposite side. They'll all join together. 4 in heaven. 4 in heaven doesn't mean control of the site itself. They'll drop down, and now here's where the real bloodbath begins. Shanks gets to safety after finding a pick. And that's about as much as you're going to be able to get. Now it's going to be the team retake in a 4v5 spike down. Sentinels going to have to get into a little bit of a better position. Anticipating where this energy force is going to start to come through. They're coming in from the heaven side. ShahZaM holding down ropes. Nobody down there. Infinite trying to use that turret to bait out some early shots. Okay, there's a player down below. The rest of the team going to go down the ramp. We're going to see dapr. He's trying to play close. He's not going to survive for much longer. eeiu's leading the charge as the body bag, but that's the trade that comes in. ShahZaM now trying to play close underneath the flower pot. Down to the 1v2 zombs. looking for safety, for shelter behind the elbow, but he's in a 1v2, and he can't clutch things out. And yes, you heard it, folks. That's NRG winning the pistol and finding the lead.
Good. Sentinels are not going to have much money going into this. The Blade Storm is forced out from ShahZaM. They have to make something from very little.
Quick trade. Sentinels trying to break through open onto the A side of regrowth to top everybody up. They're just trying to brute force their way through. Here comes the dog. It comes through. Sees two players in towards the defender spawn. So they're at least holding them off for now, but they still have to worry about Infinite, who's on the site. Kind of funneling through screens, which feels a little awkward, but taking out Infinite actually makes things a lot easier. He was going to be the problem for them to push back in, but this drifty round, this eco round for Sentinels is really starting to cook up. They're really starting to develop. It is still doable for NRG. It's just going to be difficult.
It's how they take this space. If you're ShahZaM here, I think you're patient. You wait. You wait 5 or 10 seconds. Assume that NRG have cleared it. They're going to be taking place from heaven. Now you start to sneak in, and he does that. Really well played from him. And you've always got to give credit to Sentinels this 50 rounds. That's another one added to board. They're going to barrel on through to A heaven. eeiu is there to wait. He gets one.
Wow.
Som helps him get a couple others. He's going back for more with the flash. And he knows exactly where Sentinels are going to be playing from. Oh, the orbital strike is going to add on to it. dapr is
doing a great job of setting up the players that have been trying to be very impactful, like ShahZaM and Shanks, but he's also been setting himself up. He's a fragger too. Now as they start to come through, it's going to be how Sentinels try to save them off, but swinging one at a time, easy for NRG to pick up. They'll survive with 4. Economy will reset. Loss bonus reset back to 1 for Sentinels. I think they'll still have the economy to buy up, but the economy is going to be broken soon, and that might put NRG in a 2-round lead, get them up to double digits. They couldn't take out dapr fast enough. And once again, we're reset back to the tied up match. Blade Storm not good enough for Shanks. dapr will take that one. He is a little injured. Okay, Sinatra's down. Infinite with another. Things are looking a little good. ShahZaM's injured, but he traced out daps. eeiu just trying to hold the angle. That's going to be another regrowth. That's not good enough. NRG will hold the...
created a lot of space for himself. And I don't know if NRG would be expecting him to be in this place.
Oh, the pre-fire gives him away. There's the Stim Beacon. At least it's traded away. ShahZaM with the Singer. ShahZaM's going to find 2 in the round. Here comes the push forward now. As NRG are all pushing through the back alley, they'll find one after another. And now the lockdown for dapr. dapr in a 1v3 has the camera available. Doesn't have a lot of utility though. No cages. Here's the red carpet. It's rolled out just for him. 1 VIP trip, and it's going to be daps first. 1v2. It's going to be diffused, but it's Infinite. It's NRG. They've done it. NRG have eliminated. Nope.